Okay, so I'm Aizat Danish, and that is my partner, Fawaz Sidki. So could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Islam Hussein Muhammad Sabri. I'm from Egypt. I was born in 1995 in a city called Damietta, in Egypt. I have a degree in electronics and communication engineering, and I came to Malaysia in 2019. I speak Arabic, English, and I stayed here in Malaysia since 2019. So now I speak some Malay. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
All right,
So
nice to meet you,
Fawaz?
brother Islam. Okay,
Nice to
so
meet you guys.
I'm gonna I'm gonna brief you about our topic briefly, because our topic will be covered about verbal and non-verbal communication, and what is intercultural communication. So, as we all know, communication serves as the foundation for human connection, linking individuals through verbal and nonverbal channels. Verbal communication involves spoken or written words, while nonverbal communication includes body language, facial expression, and gesture. Both forms work together to convey message, emotion, and intention. So, verbal communication relies on language for clear expression, while nonverbal cues operate on a subconscious level, adding layers of meaning. Understanding the differences and similarities between these two modes enhance overall communication between each other.
Yes, yes. So I would like to
Nice.
continue as in this our globalized world, intercultural communication is crucial as people from diverse backgrounds interact. Effective communication involves navigating variations in verbal and nonverbal norms. This exploration will delve into the basics of verbal and nonverbal communication, focusing on their roles in intercultural interactions. It aims to unravel the complexity of communication, essential for fostering connections across cultures. Back to you, Fawaz.
All right. So, brother Islam, uh,
Yes,
you tell us that you've been living in Malaysia since 2019, right?
correct. Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you, have you explored Malaysia, and how did talking and body language play a part in your experiences?
Yes, I went to many cities here in Malaysia. I stayed in Kuala Lumpur for a long time. I went to Kelantan, where I met my wife. I also went to Penang and Perak and Kelantan and Terengganu. Um, yeah, I've been to many cities here in Malaysia. So yeah, pretty much I explored it. Yes, and about what was the next part of the question again?
How did talking and body language play a part in your experience in Malaysia?
Hmm. Actually, it didn't play a big part because most people here in Malaysia can speak English and I can speak English. So uh, I didn't suffer much. So I didn't need to use sign language or something like that. Most people just speak English, and it wasn't hard to speak to people here. But if I meet someone that doesn't speak English, so yeah, indeed, that's gonna be a lot of trouble.
All right.
Really?
So when you meet someone who doesn't talk English, then how do you communicate with him? Is it like body language?
Yeah, probably it's gonna be body language, or sometimes I'm gonna try to use Google translations
Okay, that's
at
good.
the beginning. Now I can understand most people. because now I can speak some Malay. But when I first come here, yes, most of the time I'm just gonna use body language, or I can use Google Translation to help talk to the guy, to the person. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. So for the second question, when you first visited Malaysia, did anything seem surprising or different that made you think about culture shock in how people talk and act here in Malaysia?
People talk pretty much is normal, but yeah, there was something that shocked me a little. Some people burp in public here in Malaysia. That's not that's not appropriate in Egypt. And the other thing is some strangers ask me if I already eat. Like they ask me damakan, like they are trying to be friendly to me. So they ask me, did you eat? That's kinda unusual. I never heard that question in Egypt. Like I never met someone in Egypt and asked me, "Did you eat?" Like that. No, we never ask this question. So yeah, that's kind of unusual. But it's nice. It's friendly. I know. I understand. It's just coming from a friendly side. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, because we Malaysian, we want to show affection. So we ask them to, dah makan belum? Have you eaten
Yeah.
yet?
Yeah.
Some question like that.
Most people ask me, "Damakan, damakan." Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So you say that your job was electrician, right? Engineering electrician.
Electronics and communication engineering. That's my degree. But now here in Malaysia, I work as a technician. Yes, electronics
So in your
repair
job,
technician. Yes,
how often? Okay. So we're gonna proceed with the next question. In your job,
yes. Sir.
how often do you talk and deal with people from different culture?
Anyone here in Malaysia is different culture to me because I'm coming from Middle East. So I dealt with Malay customers, Indian customers, um, Chinese customers, as well as other nationalities like Australian, Colombian. I dealt with many nationalities, and yeah, I met a lot of nationalities here. I also dealt with Arab customers here. Yeah, but
Okay. So you get to use your Arabic while dealing with customers sometimes?
I used yes, I used Arabic, I used English, I used Malay. Since now I can speak some Malay. Yes, but most of the time I use English.
Yeah, I see. Okay, so
Yeah,
for
and
the next question,
most of the
yes.
customers also can speak English. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so in your experiences with people from these cultures that you mentioned, did you face communication
Yeah,
challenges due to differences between your Egyptian way of talking and theirs? Because
indeed,
some type
indeed.
uh, what?
I got the question. Okay. Indeed. Sometimes when I give a customer a quotation, as example, let's say he asked me what's wrong with the device, and I already told him the problem. So I get a reply from him which says, "Mashamana, how?" So at first I thought he want me to explain the problem again, but with time I actually got it. Like I now know when someone asks me Mashamana after I already explained, he want to know a solution. He's asking for a solution. He's not asking me to repeat my explanation again. He's asking me like, what should I do? Mashamana is he's actually trying to say what should I do now, like how to act, you know? He's not asking me to repeat my
Yes, what's the
explanation.
solution?
So yeah, that's what. Yeah, he's asking for a solution. He's not asking for how did the problem happen or what is the problem. He's not asking me to explain again. He just wants a solution. So yeah, the way of expressing his thoughts, our thoughts is just a little bit different. But now I'm getting used to it and I can understand people more here now.
Okay, okay, nice.
Okay, so based on like you state the problem just now, so when you have problems, do you like talking directly to solve them, or do you prefer handling things more privately?
Actually, it depends on who I'm dealing with. If we're talking about personal life, I would like to communicate and solve the problem with like with close relatives. Let's say I would like to communicate and solve the problem together. And if it's a customer, yeah, if it's work, most of the time I try to solve the problem without concerning the customer. So I try to solve it privately.
Okay, understood. Let's move on to the next question.
Sure.
Working with foreigners and tourists, what's one thing that you will always remember about talking and expressing things with them?
Sometimes if they have a specific word they use a lot, like as example here in Malaysia, they always use la, like okay la, boleh la, something like that. So yeah, that's something I would remember. I also would remember if they are from another country or something, I would remember the name and the country where are they from. Like I would remember where he's coming from, his country, and their name probably. And if they have something like they repeat a lot, like la, Chinese guys like to say ma, so something like that. Yeah, that's stuck with my mind.
Okay.
All right, so it's almost likely 5 years since you living in Malaysia. So living in Malaysia and being married to a Malaysian, do you think these experiences change how you talk and express yourself? Is it influence you
Of course.
strongly or not?
Yes, of course, of course. It's I learn more about the Malaysian way of talking. Now I talk more like Malaysian people talk. So yeah, I even start to use la like you guys. So boleh la, okay la. So yeah, I learned from the people surrounding me, and I talk like them. Before this, um, I lean more to talk like the American accent. So now I have a Malaysian accent of English itself. English now, like they call it Manglish. So it's English, but in a Malaysian way. So yeah, I use that more than the previous accent. My accent changed. Just like if you go to Britain as example, you will talk like a British guy. So your accent it changes. Your English it changed. So now I talk more like Malaysians.
Okay. Okay, yeah. That's cool. Okay. So the next question is, when you talk with someone, how close do you think is respectful? Because some people might think too close is disrespectful or too far is disrespectful. So how would you think is respectful?
Yeah. I guess the distance between us doesn't really matter a lot as long as we are talking politely to each other and respecting each other. So I don't think the distance matters. So if you come too close and you are talking politely, I don't see it challenging. It's just maybe you're trying to be friendly. And if you are staying away, so maybe that's kind of insulting a little bit. If you are too far, like I think it's kind of insulting. Or maybe you're just precautious because in the previous days we have COVID-19, so it's okay to be precautious and take some distance. So actually, distance I don't think it does matter. It's just the way you talk and what determines me should I be respectful with you and should we have a polite conversation or you really trying to disrespect me. But I don't think distance matters.
Okay.
All right. So, uh, let me ask you, how Malaysian been talking with you? Is it a respectful way, or maybe you have experiences with people Malaysian who are disrespectful towards you?
Did I have experiences? Yes, of course. I did have experiences, but I would say most most people here are friendly and kind.
All right. So we move on. We move on to the next question. How has talking and interacting with people from different cultures helped you? And what good things do you think you gain?
It helped me learn more about the culture and traditions um, of each group here. Let's say for each culture, I learned more about the Chinese cultures, the Malay cultures, even the Indian cultures. Uh, And what I learned from my experiences is that we should all respect each other's beliefs. So we all have different beliefs. We should all just respect each other's belief and be kind to each other. That's all.
Okay. Okay, so now moving on to the 10th and last question. If you were giving
Okay.
advice on talking with people from different cultures, what would you say about understanding both talking and body language?
About body language, I'm not I don't have experience about how to give advice about body language. I think it's about intuition. You just look at the face, and if he's happy, you will know. If he's angry, you will know. But regarding the communication, the verbal communication, I guess you just need to be open-minded and patient because someone may say something um, you find insulting or inappropriate, but he's not. It's just miscommunication. Like this is his way of saying it here. So it's just some words might get um mis misinterpreted from one culture to another. So you're trying to say something in English, let's say, but when I try to translate it from Arabic to English, it it goes with a different meaning if I try to translate it from Malay to English. I'm trying to say the same words, but because my background is Arabic and your background is Malay, you we say it in different ways, so that might cause a miscommunication. So you just try to be patient and yeah, as I told you, use your intuition. You can use the facial expression and the body expression to try to understand what he's trying to say. So if he's trying to be insulting, you will know from his body language, from his face, you will know. And if he didn't mean to insult you, then you also can know from his facial expressions and from his body language. So you just need to combine all together and be open-minded a little bit. Be patient.
Yes, I understand. Okay, so Fawaz, is anything that you like to add on?
Right. So before we end our interview session, let me ask you a bit of random question, which is
Sure.
let's say, what is your favorite things about Malaysian?
Favorite things. My favorite things about Malaysia. Oh, yes. The cars here are very cheap. I'm a cars guy, and yeah, the cars here are much cheaper than Egypt. So I actually bought few cars since I come here. 5 cars. I bought 5 cars. Currently, I have 3 cars. Yeah. That was a random
Okay, okay.
question, right?
All right. One last one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you, what is the most significant or maybe similarities or differences that you may find, or this is really matter between your Egyptian and Malaysian cultures?
You want me to say what's the differences and what's the similarities?
Anything that you find, yeah.
Okay. So between the cultures or between the body language?
The
Differences
body
and
language,
similarities
of
between
course.
the cultures? The body language.
The culture in aspect of body language, or maybe um, how they talk.
Okay. So in Egypt, we we use less body language. So here in Malaysia, people tend to use more body language. In Egypt, we just we normally talk less in Egypt. Normally, in usual, we talk less. So when I come here to Malaysia, I notice that people talk a lot more, especially Malay culture. Uh, and I guess Indians also talk a lot here. Yes, I guess.
Okay, okay. So another random question. Have you encountered
Yeah, go ahead.
uh, with a Sabahan people?
Encountered what?
Encountered interactions with a Sabahan person?
A Sabahan person, few times.
Few
Yes.
times.
And I noticed they have the K, they say it ka, not K. It's ka.
Okay, okay. Because
So they have,
actually Fawaz here
so
is
they,
actually from Sabah.
oh, so Fawaz is from Sabah. I see. Yes, I met
Yes.
few guys from Sabah, and I can tell by the accent when they speak Malay. I can tell by the accent if he is from Sabah. And I know also some about Sabah. I know Sabahan people have Murut guys, Murut culture or something like that, and Kadazan. These are kind of cultures there. Am I right? Murut
Yes,
and
you're right.
Kadazan.
There's a lot of
The
ethnicities.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
So have you
I
been
know
to?
a lot about the culture by now. No, I never been to Sabah. I never been to Sabah.
Oh, you never been to?
Yeah,
You should, because if you want to learn about culture, Malaysian culture, you have to go to Sabah, Sarawak, because we have a lot more ethnicities, more cultural different than
exactly.
Malaysia
Yes,
Peninsula.
yes, yes. But I went to the Malaysian museum. It was here in KL. I don't remember exactly what's the name of the museum, but it has a lot of information about Sabahan culture. So I know few about Sabahan culture.
That's good. That's good.
All right, so maybe that's the end of our interview session. Uh, I would
Yeah,
like to bid a huge thank to Brother Islam because
thank you,
you spend your time with us for this interview session.
thank
Yes.
you, thank you, guys,
Thank
and
you.
goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
All right, thank you. Goodbye. Till we meet again.